Hey there everyone, welcome to Violet's Dream Tarot. So today we're going to be doing the general predictions reading for June. I always do a separate general predictions and then love predictions reading for each month. So this is the general predictions. Love may come out, but I don't ask any specific question when I do these kind of readings. I just say what's coming up for my lovely viewers in June. So I want to say a big thank you as always to all of my subscribers, all of my patrons, including Alexandra, Kat, Kelly, Virginia, Chris, and Cara. Thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you to everyone who's donated to the channel and everyone who just sends me your love in the comments. You guys leave me some really great vibes. Every single day you boost my mood. So we've also got a really exciting new deck to use today, which was voted for by my lovely patrons in the monthly polls. This is the Faery Forest Oracle deck. Really excited to use this. I like the artwork a lot. So I'll be using that today. I've also picked lots of other oracle decks as well, and of course we've got charms and dice like we always do. So let's look at the cards that came out for the piles today. This is kind of what I've started doing, is putting these Dixit cards on the piles each time I do a video. I used to mainly put like little things on the piles, but I'm really drawn to the cards at the moment. So I don't choose a card to go on each pile. I shuffle the deck like I would with a reading, and I say give me a pile marker for pile 1, etc., and I take whatever card jumps out, and often, pretty much always, it's been really closely related to either what the person's going through or some themes in the reading. So group 1, we've got it reminds me of Atlas, even though he holds the sky rather than the world on his shoulders, you know. And I just feel like maybe some of you who are choosing this pile are really worn down, maybe worried about a lot of things, maybe bearing the brunt of the world on your shoulders. You don't have to choose based on this. I recommend choosing intuitively, but this could tie in with your decision. So we'll be using the Ramses Tarot of Eternity for pile 1. And just take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is coming towards me in June? What can I expect in the coming month? On pile 2, we've got like these ghosts coming out of the TV screen. So maybe you're feeling very nostalgic at this time. Maybe you've been ghosted by someone. Maybe you're hoping to hear from someone from the past. Trying to get your old self back maybe. And we're using the Happy Tarot for group 2. And then group 3, we've got this really intriguing, almost kind of Art Deco background. And then this, I don't even know what it is, this kind of character, this creature who has all these keys hanging off the antlers. They've got a third eye and they've got this lock in the chest. So I kind of think of this as being like the Doorkeeper, the Portal Keeper, someone who's offering an opportunity or a new life or a new path in a way. And we'll be using the Star Spinner Tarot with pile 3. So I just like to point out my kind of feelings about the cards and what they might mean in general, just in case you really resonate with something that I say, but you don't have to choose based on what's on the cards. You can choose intuitively. You know, just take whichever card you're feeling most drawn to. Maybe you can't stop looking at it. Maybe you get a little bit tingly when you see it. Those are all kind of ways of following your intuition. Maybe you want to close your eyes and then open them and see which one your eyes fall on first. You know, whatever works for you in terms of choosing a pile. It's fine to choose more than one pile. Just take what resonates in this reading and leave what doesn't. It is a general reading on YouTube. It's not a private reading, so you might find that not everything resonates, but that's completely fine. These messages have got to reach a lot of people. So when you guys are ready, pause the video if you need more time. I'll go back to the start to watch me showing you and explaining the cards again, and I'll get started with pile number 1. Hey there group 1, welcome to your reading. If you chose this kind of ancient Greek scene with someone who seems to be really burdened, here maybe you are carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders a little bit or really tired. It is kind of a 10 of Wands image really, isn't it? That sense of having struggled with something for a while or just feeling overburdened at this time. Then this is going to be your reading. We'll be using the Ramses Tarot of Eternity. Like I said, I've just dropped the camera down a little bit so that we can see the mat a little bit more, because you guys know that I love to use lots of cards, and obviously we'll be getting charms and dice like we always do. Please do consider subscribing if you haven't already. And welcome to all viewers, whether you're new or whether you've been here a long time. Let's see what's coming up in June. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. Two of Cups, nice start to your reading. Possible romance there. The Star, lovely card. Then we've got the Moon as well, kind of a natural follow-on from the Star because it's 17 and then 18. And we have the Four of Wands. Interesting. This does feel quite harmonious, I have to say. So if you are finding that you're really struggling at the moment, that you're going through this really tough time, it does feel like things get a lot better in June. So I'm seeing Aquarius and also Pisces energy coming out here. I kind of get the feeling that some of you are worried about a lot of stuff, not just from the card in general, but also the Moon can talk about our worries. You know, even if they're not kind of realistic worries, often things that keep us awake at night or that seem to only become really vivid when we're laid in bed trying to get to sleep. I feel some of you are going through relationship issues, to be honest. You know, this could be in a romantic sense. I'm kind of getting a vision of like you laying next to someone in bed and they're asleep and you're laid awake, worried about your connection or worried about, you know, other stuff, and they're kind of not giving you the support that you need. So there is that issue coming through, that little kind of channeled vision there. But for some of you, it's just about a relationship in general. It could be a friend or a family member. I feel like either they have done something to hurt you, or maybe there's an incompatibility there, or you just feel like they haven't been showing up in the way that they should be for you. And so there's this kind of healing going on as we move into June. There's more harmony there, because the Four of Wands brings harmony with loved ones, with the people that are close to us. It also brings about a sense of milestones and success and kind of tying up loose ends. So perhaps some of you have deadlines, exams maybe, or, you know, tests, job interviews, things that you're worried about that will be resolved by the time you're into June, or by the end of June at least, and you just kind of breathe a sigh of relief and think, oh, thank goodness that's over. So super interested to get your oracle cards. Like I said, I've chosen quite a few decks today. Group 1. Moon cycles, so it's the second time we've got like a moon card. Cycles is interesting. It feels almost like, you know, like hormonal cycles, and this may not be something that affects you a lot normally, but I feel like you just seem more tender, more vulnerable than usual. Group 1, you might not normally identify as being that kind of person. You might be the person that's so strong, so resilient, you know, never shows that they're struggling. And I think that especially comes out with the 10 of Wands people, the people who just take everything on their shoulders. They don't let anyone help them, you know, they don't ask for help, they don't talk about their struggles, they just get on with it. But it feels like possibly because you've got your own worries, or because you've got so much going on at this time, and maybe you feel that the people around you, or your one special person, whether that's a friend or a family member or a romantic partner, just hasn't been around for you in the way that they should be. That seems to have left you feeling more vulnerable or feeling weakened in a way. So I kind of feel like there is this sense of, whether it's following the cycle of the moon or not, there is this feeling of, you know, some days I'm fine, some days I really feel quite low, and I don't necessarily have a concrete reason to pin that to. You know, normally we feel low because someone said something or something's not happened in the way that we wanted, but it almost feels like you wake up and you just feel low sometimes, and then other days you're completely fine. So there is this cycle going on. You might find it's in tune with the moon cycle, so you have kind of the most energy around the full moon, you feel lower around the waning moon. We've got the poisoned apple there, number 6, jealousy. So possibly there are people getting involved in your relationship for some of you, where you just feel like other people are dealing with life a lot better right now. You know, I kind of feel that whatever it is that is burdening you, you just wish that you could pass that burden on to someone else just for like a few moments, so that you can breathe, like gasp a breath of fresh air and then take it back again. And I think for some of you as well, this could be to do with mental health. I'm getting like a lot of visions and messages channeled for this group, and this wasn't intended to be like a channeled messages reading, but it's just coming through, so you guys definitely need to hear this. But I'm kind of feeling, whether this is a mental health issue or not, or just like a vulnerable time issue, that you guys are thinking to yourself like, I wish I could be normal, or I wish I could be like most people, or like this or like that. And for some of you it is connected to that vision I had of lying in bed next to someone and they're asleep and you're awake, and I kind of feel like you're wishing you could just forget about whatever's happened and move on, or you're wishing you could love them the way that they love you, or you're wishing that you could, you know, wave a magic wand and get rid of all the issues. There's this kind of feeling of wishing things were different within your own self. We have total submersion, number 32. Don't be afraid to totally immerse yourself in a project, interest, or goal. Give it 100% of your energy and you may find what your life has been lacking. So if you have been feeling lackluster, there is some kind of goal that you can immerse yourself in. Now, you may be feeling wary of this because if you've had the 10 of Wands thing, if that's what you're going through now in May, if it is May when you're watching this, you know, and you just think, well, I haven't got the energy to submerge myself into something. It's saying go for it. It's saying you might not feel like you have the energy, but do whatever it is you need to do, whether it's connected to these deadlines or exams or, you know, personal goals. Do it because you'll feel better for it. Whether it gives you a sense of achievement or whether it just takes your mind off things and by the time you come out the other side, things are different and you feel better. There's just this real sense of do it, you'll thank yourself for it. Then from my new Faery Forest Oracle deck, you have Sorceress, number 3. Rituals, power, and will. Okay, so willpower very strong. It makes me feel like the Queen of Wands a little bit there, being able to manifest what you want, being able to bring the right energies into your life. I think rituals is important because it's kind of like saying, have something you're doing regularly to stay grounded, especially if you're feeling the cycles thing, or especially if you're feeling particularly low or vulnerable. Doing a meditation, doing some yoga, having a regular walk, even if it's just like a 15-minute thing, could be so helpful to keeping you grounded. So trying to get that done every day or a few times a week would be really helpful for you guys. We support you as you cleanse and clear both inside and out, number 34. So that is your message from your spirit guides and passed over loved ones. Clearing inside and out is interesting. It makes me think of telling people how you're feeling, kind of getting it all out there, or maybe writing it down as a letter or a diary entry and then, you know, getting rid of it if you want to, or keeping it if you think it would be useful. Just so that you're not holding those feelings and so that you can articulate why you're feeling the way you are, because often we feel really unsettled when we can't articulate what it is that's making us feel a certain way, or even exactly how we're feeling. You know, we sometimes just feel really uneasy. So try and focus on getting it down in quite a clear way. There could also be some clearing out of the home going on, or clearing out when it comes to relationships in June. Then you have Gaia, beautiful Gaia, connection to nature, so the kind of walking that I was talking about, maybe doing fresh air yoga if weather permits. It's been really awful weather in the UK recently, like pretty much all of May. It's just been raining every single day. It's been dark. It's awful. Bat spirit, a rebirth is assured, number 5. That's a lovely message. You will not feel this way forever, is what this is saying. And it brings us back to that moon card again with cycles, you know. The waning moon is exactly what precedes the new moon. You know, it's darkest before the dawn. All of those sayings, they're sayings for a reason. Because they're true. Because they have wisdom there. So you won't feel this way forever. And I feel like June does bring about this sense of freshness and newness, specifically kind of towards the midway point, I feel. Traveling lightly, simplify your life. Yes, this sense of clearing out the clutter again, physically and emotionally. I'm going to use my lovely ice cream oracle now. Moon mist. Astral travel, visions, and visitations. So there may be some real insights coming in from meditation. You may kind of visit strange places in your dreams or get channeled messages coming through to you when that's not normally what happens for you. From the King Solomon cards, you've got number 11. Gonna have to look up the guidebook for that because that's a new deck and it doesn't have any words on the cards themselves to help with the interpretation. So that is flexibility, tolerance, compromise and leniency. A situation which requires compromise and flexibility on your part. A naive or immature approach to the problem you face. It's necessary to give up or to compromise. Flexibility in the given situation will bring better results. Forgive and move on. Okay, so there's kind of a need to not be so stubborn or fixed in your ways. You know, you might find that you feel, maybe I'm unreasonable for feeling a certain way. Maybe you can't stay away from a person and sulk or kind of, you know, take time away from them in order to fully process how you're feeling about them. Maybe you need to spend time with them because you live with them, or they're going to show up and you don't feel like you can say, look, I need space. Because deep down you kind of feel like that would be punishing them and it might even be unfair, you know. I feel like a lot of this is how you're feeling at the moment and you don't want to project your own issues onto someone else. So while they may have triggered these feelings, like they may have let you down, they may have behaved in a way that crossed a boundary for you, or they may have said something that, you know, was an off-the-cuff remark that they immediately forgot about, but it really stayed with you. I'm kind of feeling it's this sort of thing, like either someone's done something that they think you've forgiven them for, that you think, they think it's in the past for you, etc., or they've done something without really fully realizing how it's affected you. So they could have done something that most people would have taken completely fine, and because of past experiences or maybe just because of who you are, it's hit you in a certain place, okay? And you need time to think about that, but you don't necessarily want to tell the person, you've hurt me, or this really upset me, or, you know, I can't stop thinking about this, because you feel most people wouldn't feel that way. That's the feeling I'm getting. I'm sorry if it seems kind of complicated, but that's how it feels to me. This may have already happened for you when you're watching this. I'm not saying this is going to happen in June, because I think for like 95% of you this has already happened, and June is a time where you process this and you feel a lot better about it. Your work affirmation card is modesty. I'm willing to be wrong. I am willing to not know all the answers. I'm even willing to admit to my boss that I screwed up. Behind all this humility is the me that knows it's better to be modest than to be a die-hard, try-hard, know-it-all. Isn't that mature and gracious of me? You're welcome. So again, this need for a kind of flexibility in the way that you cooperate with others and communicate with others, even if it's not how you're feeling truly, you know, there's a need to kind of be okay with other people. Co-create, yes, number 40. Could be someone you could confide in, who you can really pour out your feelings to, who's a bit detached from the situation, or maybe doesn't know the person that has upset you or that you're dealing with. Your tea leaf fortune cards, you've got the month of November coming up first of all. So for some of you, you're planning something for November, or this is harking back to something that started or happened in November that you're still kind of mulling over or thinking about, or that's been re-triggered recently. You have chair filled. Someone new is entering your life. Lovely message. We have bear, danger, especially in money matters. And inkpot, problems to be resolved. I kind of think with bear as well, it has that stubborn energy about it. Like a bear won't be shifted. You know, a bear does what it wants to do. So I feel again there's that message about needing to be a little bit more flexible or open. Problems to be resolved. Okay, and then your last card before we do your charms and dice is from the Starseeds Oracle cards, and it says stillness. reflect on this moment with love, kindness, and compassion. And I feel again it's saying do that grounding technique, whatever it is that works for you, just so that you can take yourself out of the intense emotions and kind of sit with it and find some peace in the moment and think, okay, now that I've calmed down a bit, am I going to act differently, or am I thinking about this situation differently? And that's the image on the back of the card. They're all different in this deck. It's just a very clear, kind of cloudy image. You know, really bright white colours. So we'll do your charms now, group 1, and I just want to remind you, or let you know if you're new, that these could be quite loud. So if you think that you won't like the sound, or if you're wearing headphones or have high volume, I really recommend turning down the volume right now. Some of you love it, some of you hate it, so I always try and remember to say I'm about to shuffle. So what's coming up in June 2021 for you guys? Okay, so we've got the lobster there, which is immediately what I was feeling about you guys in general, is this resilient energy, someone who overcomes everything that life throws their way. And it feels like you need to be more open now, you need to confide in a good friend. We've got the good friend charm there. Stability and security with the anchor, so there is going to be a much more stable energy in June than there has been. I'm also seeing the Canadian charm, which is another charm of endurance and strength and stamina. The Irish charm there, which is a good luck charm. Little shamrock. We have the Black Knight as well. This could talk about a mysterious stranger, so maybe this new person that's coming into your life. Can also talk about someone who's just not letting on about their feelings, or not kind of talking about what's really on their mind or what their true intentions are. So that could be you or someone else that just isn't opening up. Maybe that's where the frustration lies for you. Maybe your partner isn't opening up to you, or a friend has kind of stopped talking to you in the way that they used to. We've got the notification bell there. So someone is trying to get your attention in this month. You know, it could be this friend figure, could be this Black Knight, could be someone else. But there are going to be communication things coming in, like messages or calls. Maybe even someone showing up where you live and just asking to come in and talk, or asking if you want to go out with them. We've got the movie camera as well, and that's saying that things are kind of working out behind the scenes. That hasn't taken hold in life yet. You know, it's not kind of had that effect in the 3D world yet, but kind of in the 5D, in the background, things are working out for you, and there is a resolution that's being created. And then finally we've got this cross with a heart in it, and that just makes me think of faith, trust, knowing that things are going to work out in the best possible way. So let's get your dice on top, group 1. Okay, we're going to roll the 6th set of dice, which is the Voyager's dice. And they look like this. Okay, that landed on 0, so I'm going to roll again. Okay, we're rolling 7 dice for you today. Okay, group 1, June. Yes, okay, so we've got the rainy days. You know, it could be literally saying that the weather is getting you down, you know, this whole cycles and nature, connection to nature. But I really think it's just saying you guys are going to feel a bit low, or you have been feeling a bit low, and that's going to change. I feel like June brings the new cycle in a way. You guys have been navigating these choppy waters. You felt very unsettled, tried to look for a way out, you know, this kind of shortcut dice that we've got there. Could be like a trapdoor, you know, changing path a little bit. You have everything you need is what the backpack is telling you. Kind of think of like an inventory in a video game. When I get this, sometimes it's the backpack that you can click on. We've also got the Crow. So this is a deity dice. This is the Morrigan, Celtic goddess of battle, you know, of warfare, of difficult times. So she's coming out saying that she's working with you, she's around you at this time. You can ask her for help. You've got Gaia as well. But also this is a symbol of omens, because, you know, a crow is often thought of as being an omen. So it's kind of like saying that you know or sense how things are going to work out before they do, or you know something's going to happen before it does. You kind of keep getting repeated signs and symbols in June, maybe the kind of keep going signs and symbols, etc. The last piece of the puzzle, feeling complete again, feeling whole again in June, feeling like you understand something better, or that a situation has been resolved, and then it's just kind of like the mist has cleared, you know, suddenly I see why this happened, or I understand everyone's sides, or I'm no longer affected by this rain cloud, it's moved on, you know, it's out of my life now. And finally, the Cauldron just makes me think of having plenty. It thinks of abundance, kind of full moon energy where things come to fruition, because it's bubbling away there, so it's not like you're waiting for it to boil. You know, it's reached the boil, it's bubbling away happily. Bringing projects to a completion successfully. So yes, that's what I'm seeing for you guys in June. It does look very interesting. It looks like a very positive shift away from what you've been going through recently. So if you have been feeling burdened, upset, unsettled, you know, worried, I feel like June really brings about a shift where suddenly that just doesn't seem to matter anymore. You know, it's resolved, or you just suddenly think, whatever I'm worrying about is not going to happen. You know, it's like it's literally like a cloud just moves on, and suddenly you're like, why was I thinking like that? You know, it's a real sudden shift that I'm feeling, and it is to do with the weather and the moon cycles and all of these things and how connected you are to that. So just cut yourself some slack is what I want to say, group one. Really be kind to yourself at this time, and don't berate yourself for feeling a certain way, or for not being able to do things on a certain day or face things. Please do let me know in the comments how this resonated with you. Please do like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. It really helps my channel get seen by more people and helps us to grow this family that we've got here. And if you're interested in what I do here on the channel and you want to get more involved, check out the description box for lots of links over there. I'm not currently offering private readings at the moment when I'm filming this, but I will be soon. I've just got a lot going on outside of tarot, and it's, you know, it's hard for me to actually fit in this filming, so at the moment it's a very busy time for me. But keep checking back on my Etsy page, because I will reopen it soon. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you like daily cards, or Billy to show your support over there. Check out my Patreon page if you're interested in giveaways and exclusive content. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, thank you so much, you guys. I have a PayPal link to help me keep making these videos through your little tips and donations. And I also have an Amazon wishlist and a indie deck wishlist for new tarot and oracle decks as well. So if that interests you, please do check it out. All of you guys are so lovely. I hope you have a great month ahead and a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Take care. Hi there, group 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the picture of like the ghosts coming out of the TV in this black and white world, and the Happy Tarot, this is going to be your reading. So just a quick recap of what I kind of thought might be going on with you guys, or might be coming out in the pile. If you chose this, we've got nostalgia, memories, people from your past, potentially being ghosted by someone, but it's also just come to me possibly you might have suffered a bereavement recently, or be hoping to hear from a loved one. I have got these messages from heaven, spirit communication cards, which I'll be using to get a message from spirit guides and passed over loved ones as well. So that's just what I'm seeing in that card. You might not have chosen it for what's specifically on the card, you might just have been drawn to it, but that's just what I wanted to say in case it rang a bell with any of you guys. So, got plenty of oracle cards today, charms and dice as always. I encourage you to subscribe as well if you haven't already. It really helps my channel to grow, and it's completely free and easy for you to do. So group 2, what's coming up in June? got quite a few tarot cards. So we have 5 of Swords there. Okay. Then we've got King of Wands. Queen of Wands. Wow, those two coming out together next to each other. Then 2 of Wands. 3 of Swords. 9 of Cups. Okay, so we've got Aries, Leo, Sagittarius showing up here. Potentially also air signs, but it's mainly those fire signs that I'm seeing at the moment. I do feel that ghosting is a possibility from what some of you have been through. Possibly bereavement as well, but basically what I'm seeing in the cards is you guys overcoming a very difficult experience that involves at least one other person. So there could also be bullying involved here, because when I see the 5 of Swords, sometimes it's one person just not acting from their highest self and just, you know, acting out of ego and being nasty. Often when it's not what they want as well, because the 5 of Swords is what I call the no-win card. So someone can really lash out, block you, ghost you, you know, say horrible things to you, etc., that they often don't mean in the moment, or that they maybe meant in the moment, but they know as they're saying it or very shortly after that it's not what they want to say, because it's not what they want in the long run. So there's this feeling of someone not acting in their own best interest. So while you may feel that the other person or people have won in this situation, it's likely that they're not feeling that way. It's not, you know, you often don't gloat even when you're the winner in the 5 of Swords situation. Then with the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands, this could be, you know, someone who you thought was a perfect match for you. I also just see it as representing people who can completely take care of themselves. You know, Queen of Wands and King of Wands, they're people who don't need anyone else to complete them. And they're people who can absolutely manage on their own. And that's what the 2 of Wands is saying. This person going out, they've got the world in their hand. World is their oyster. They're looking for new experiences. They're turning their back on this difficult situation and on this pain and hurt, you know, and they're moving forward to happiness, finding what they want. Okay, so for some of you, this may be a bereavement, you know, or an estrangement maybe from a family member or a friend, and you're just trying to box up that pain so that you're not feeling it all at once and move forward so that you can find your happiness again. Wow, okay, group 1 got this card, Moon, Cycles. So maybe this is really affecting a lot of people at this time, because I know I've been feeling it as well, but the Moon card with the cycles is kind of saying you might be feeling a bit tender at this time, a bit vulnerable. You know, I feel like maybe even right now when you're watching this, and not so much in June, there's going to be ups and downs. You know, there's going to be days where you might feel low without any particular reason. You know, maybe you're feeling residually low after that 5 of Swords or 3 of Swords experience. Maybe you just feel like, you know, I don't have a recent reason to feel this way, and yet here I am. I was doing so well yesterday and now I'm like this. So ups and downs is what I'm seeing, but by the end of June I see a massive improvement with the 9 of Cups. You may find that you're in tune with the weather. I don't know where you guys are, but in the UK, pretty much the whole of May has just been rain every single day. It's been dark most days. It's really just not nice. A lot of people getting very down about it because they want to go out, they want to enjoy the approaching summer, and it's just dark and it's rainy and it's windy, and it's just like, well, what's the point? For some of you, it is going to be in cycle with the moon itself, so you're going to have less energy or feel lower when the moon is waning. You're going to have the most around the full moon time. Just be kind to yourself about this. Cut yourself some slack. And Children of Leah, number 37, voice. The need to voice how you're feeling. The need to tell someone maybe how they made you feel. Maybe you don't want to tell them to their face. You know, maybe you want to write it down, or write a draft message or draft email and then delete it. Finding your voice again, possibly after a time where you've just not been able to face talking to anyone. 2 cards here from the Whispers of the Ocean deck. Number 3, In the Light of the Moon, beautiful healing card. A full moon can shine light on what you've been resisting. This can be anything from your fears to your soul's beauty. And again, it's that moon imagery, isn't it? And I've just noticed that, because at first I was like, oh, the healing energy, and then I remembered, well, you've got the moon there as well. So this is a very healing card. You know, you could have been putting off processing feelings based on what's already happened. You could have tried to push it down, you weren't ready for it, etc. And this is saying, look, it's going to come out in the wash at some point. You can't just push it down forever. It may leave you feeling low and vulnerable, but it will help you in the end. And number 24 is saying, love where you are. Use your sensitivity to know when to act. Connect your heart to your head when determining what you would like. So again, that kind of message of knowing how much you're able to take on at a given time, knowing when something's probably going to be too much for you, etc. Really be in tune with your body and your energy levels at this time, and don't give yourself a hard time if you think, actually, I can't get this done today, or actually I don't want to face this event today, or talking to this person, you know. Don't beat yourself up about that. Then you have number 33 here, Freya, from my new Faery Forest oracle cards. Freya is abundance, peace, and contentment. Lovely message. So yes, finding your 9 of Cups energy, especially towards the end of June, I feel, just finally feeling, okay, I can breathe now. Like, okay, I'm in a better place now. I'm content with the situation. I found my peace. I've made my peace with it. I've accepted it. Now being open to abundance. Inanna, desire. So getting your power back. Inanna, or Ishtar, as she's also known as a goddess of power. Goddess of sexual energy as well. Very much in tune with the Queen of Wands figure. Okay, then your message from your spirit guides and your past over loved ones is, talk to us, we are still listening. Number 10, so if you feel like, you know, you feel silly for talking out loud to your loved ones, or for addressing spirit guides when you can't physically see them, do so. You can talk in your head, you know, you don't have to say it out loud, but you can talk to them. They are around you, they are listening. They don't want you to feel like you're burdening them with anything. You know, you might feel, well, they don't want to listen to me moaning or whatever. It's important that you talk to someone. Aha, my favorite card in this deck, Miracles. Expect the wondrous to emerge. And I love that you've got this, because the 9 of Cups is also sometimes called the wish card or the genie card, getting a wish granted, or really getting a miraculous thing happen to you. And, you know, miracles, it's got that genie lamp there. It is this wish card again. So there is going to be this happy ending, or this kind of miraculous change or occurrence for you in June that just makes you feel so much better, or feel completely different about what's going on. Horse Spirit, number 33. That's the second time that you've got number 33, is it? Oh no, 23. I said 33 for this card, so maybe I was anticipating 33 being important to you guys, but that's actually 23. 33 is here, Horse Spirit, freedom is yours. So finding freedom from the things that have restrained you, whether that is relationships, circumstances, or just, I feel, the feelings and the thoughts connected to what's gone on. You guys finding freedom from that and just finally feeling like, oh, it doesn't burden me anymore. Green tea, work ethic, diligence, meticulousness. Okay, so working through your issues, also getting things done as well. I feel like you guys are hard workers, you are resilient people. You don't like to leave things to the last minute. But I just feel like the important message when it came to, you know, love where you are, cycles, etc., is don't push yourself in this month. Don't force yourself to get everything done in a reasonable time frame. take on what you can when you can. Okay, so you probably are hard workers because you've got a couple of cards from the Affirmators at Work Oracle deck. So you have success, first of all. I open the floodgates and call all kinds of success into my life. Little everyday at work success, big career-defining success, wild, unimagined, unexpected success. All success is welcome here. As long as it doesn't park in the neighbour's driveway, he'll yell at us and break up the party. Fail. So I feel, again, 9 of Cups energy from this. There is going to be some kind of big success or change in work or in your goals in June. Then you also have this bonus card, Filling the Well. Feeling like your brain could use a tiny jumpstart or medical transplant, it might be time to take a break and go explore some completely unrelated territory for a few days. Wells can only provide so much water before they dry up, and brains are the same way. Brains don't dry up, but the metaphor holds true. Regardless, your brain could use a kick in the brain pants, so step away from your routine and head to the nearest museum, park, concert, or chowder cook-off. Do it now. Hurry before your boss sees you climbing out of the window. So there is, as I said, a need to take a break and remember that you can't give from an empty cup, or you can't, give from a dry well in this metaphor. You can only give when you're feeling ready and when you're feeling able. And then we've got the Drive card. So no matter what my energy level is, today I'm lighting my motivational furnace and burning with drive. Starting now, I'm the reigning badass of productivity, and I'm able to blaze through my entire to-do list and then some. Item 1, procure Badass of Productivity crown. And that's what I feel you guys are normally like, and that's what you're used to, is just plowing through everything, getting everything done, really quickly to a high standard, etc. And it's saying just slow down a little bit in this month. And from your King Solomon card, you've got number 4. I'm going to have to check out the guidebook for this one because it's a new deck and they don't put words on the front to help guide your interpretation there. So, this makes so much sense, you guys. This is the 5 of Swords or the 3 of Swords situation. Enemies, betrayal, scolding, infidelity, conspiracy, or action taken behind your back. Okay, so it says someone has acted against you or behind your back. A particular person who is not loyal to you. Hostility. Someone trying to incite you against another person. Okay, so there are enemies, rivals, people who have behaved in despicable ways, spies, traitors, etc. People that you don't feel you can trust. So that's where I think a lot of this is stemming from, is this 5 of Swords energy. It's left you just feeling completely at a loss as to what to do. And I feel like for most of you, this 5 of Swords thing has already happened. It's not something that's going to happen in June. It's something that's already happened that you kind of need to get to grips with when it comes to June. So you're leaving those feelings behind. Okay. Okay, great. You've got quite a few of these tea leaf fortune cards. And I love it when we get quite a few because these little cards are really good for painting like a picture of what's going on. So let's just grab all of them. So your first card is May. Okay, so some kind of inciting incident that happens in May that you're still trying to get over when it comes to June. We have Vase, Secret Admirer, so there may be some kind of meddling in matters of the heart here, or people trying to steal friends, etc. Tiger, doing something risky, taking a chance. For me, this also means people who could be born in the year of the tiger, the Chinese year of the tiger. Desk, pay attention to your work. Yeah, it looks like you guys really kind of use work as a way to distract yourself when you're struggling. Lily, spiritual love. And I feel, again, it's saying that your spirit guides and your past over loved ones are with you at this time. They very much want to make their presence known in that way. Hills, obstacles to overcome. Fair woman, dealings or relationship with a woman with blonde, grey or white hair. Yoke, feeling tied down or frustrated. And Jug, light-hearted, carefree time, so needing to kind of schedule that in. Okay, you've got a couple of cards that have just really jumped out of that deck, and I'll take all of them for you. A couple of them landed on the floor. So we've got Co-Create, number 40. Sorry, I just knocked the camera a little bit, and that card did also come out for group 1. There are some similarities here, but I don't feel that most of you would benefit from watching that pile as well. Maybe if you were drawn to it as well, then I recommend watching it, but this is distinct enough from pile 1 for me to think, you know, it's not that similar a reading. You have Truth Be Told, number 14, like you want to open your heart, you want to tell someone how they've made you feel. Loyal Heart, number 35, that's 3 owls that you've got here as well. Maybe owls are a symbol that your spirit guides are with you, or your passed over loved ones. If you see owls, don't have to be real owls, you know. Oh, you've got another owl actually. You know, they could be stuffed toy owls, they could be owls like an emblem, could be the word owl. And Poised, number 48, like you're waiting for something to change, you're waiting for your situation. Let's get you one last card, and then we'll do your charms and dice, group 2. Really interesting reading so far. And I do see it changing, because like I said, I do see this kind of shift where you suddenly get this miracle or this wish being granted. So your starseed affirmation card here is dreams. The universe speaks to you through your dreams, so listen to your intuition. That's the visualization on the back of the card. I don't know how well you can see it, but there's like an eye. Looks like a woman's face maybe. And then this kind of white energy and this light. So like she's being spoken to. Really interesting. So yes, listen out for those intuitive messages. Listen to your dreams. Maybe keep a dream diary, because you've got a lot here about the moon. And so it's making me think maybe you are more open or susceptible to messages, channeled messages or intuitive feelings when it's dark and when it's quiet, and when those kind of external voices or other things that need to be doing have been drowned out, and you're just laid there in bed, or you're just, you know, the TV's switched off and you're just sat in the room and it's dark and, you know, nothing's happening. Maybe that's when you get those nudges the most. So I'm going to do your charms now, and I just want to say, if you have high volume on your device, or if you have your headphones in and you think you won't like the sound of the charms, I recommend turning it down, because they can be really loud. Some of you love it, some of you hate it. So I always have to remember to, or try and remember to say, turn it down now. So group 2, June 2021. Okay, so this crown fell out while I was shuffling, and it landed on that horse card about freedom being yours. So the crown is all about taking back sovereignty, taking back control of your life, starting to make decisions that are right for you, where you're not kind of justifying yourself to anyone else or looking for anyone else's approval, or, you know, taking into account what other people would want for you. You're making those decisions that are right for you. You've got this angel feather there, so angels are definitely around you at this time. We've got determination. Whenever I see this, I think of being like a dog with a bone. You know, you won't stop, you won't give up. Autumn time energy is coming through here. That's important for some of you. We've got the pearl of wisdom, truth and knowledge coming in. You're being guided by spirit. That's so important. It's come through quite a lot of times for you guys. You are being guided intuitively. The star is also about guidance. It's about healing, moving on, optimism for the future. Also think of wishing upon a star. You've got Taurus energy showing up here. Could potentially be referring back to things that happened in the time of Taurus, because we've got May, and obviously May time is predominantly Taurus time. And then we have got the Black Knight as well. So mysterious stranger. coming into your life, or someone who is not talking about their feelings or their motivations or their thoughts, someone who's keeping a lot to themselves. That's who the Black Knight is. So we'll get your dice on top as well. Okay, we're rolling the 4th set of dice, and those are the Looney Tunes dice. And they look like this. Okay, that's a 0, so I'm going to roll again. 7. We're rolling 7 dice for you guys today. Okay. Okay, let's see what we've got. Okay, so quite a few images here of being hit very suddenly or kind of not expecting something. So we've got the anvil, you know, that often falls on people's heads in Looney Tunes, or it like falls on one half of a wooden plank and they're propelled somewhere because they're standing on the other side of it. We've got the bomb as well. And we've also got the person who's like fallen down the canyon and has left this imprint of themselves. They've made like a hole shaped like themselves, and that just makes me think of feeling like so completely flawed, you know, like so not expecting something, or so like knocked over by something energetically. There's something that happened that you really weren't expecting, or that really impacted you a lot more deeply than you expected it to. Okay, we do have an older female energy either in spirit or around you right now with Granny there. So someone who can guide you. Granny, very wise, very caring as well. They don't have to be older in the sense of being of grandparent age to you, but just someone more mature, more experienced, wiser, of an older generation than you typically. We've got the hearth there. Home being sanctuary, looking after yourself, cozy energy, cutting yourself some slack as well. And then an interesting kind of juxtaposition with the dice, because you've got Pinky or Perky Pig. I never know which one it is, but when I pull this dice, I think of the ending of every Looney Tunes episode where it's one of the pigs saying, "That's all, folks," like putting an end to something, you know, an ending, wanting to stop this situation, close it off. There's the waning moon there as well that it landed next to, so like you're exiting this experience. I've just tipped that over to Capricorn, so maybe that's important as well. Ending this experience, whatever it is, you're putting it behind you, and then the rocket is like launching something new, you know, it's like a new beginning, setting off, excitement, looking forward to something else. So that's what I'm saying. It's really a time of endings and beginnings, and really getting over something that was very, very difficult for you to deal with and possibly affected you even more deeply than you thought it would, or just came completely out of the blue, like you weren't expecting that to happen, or to happen in the way that it did. So that's what I'm seeing, group 2. It looks very encouraging for June, that things are just going to switch up and you're going to feel really a lot better and a lot more in control of things again. Please do comment below and let me know how this resonated with you. Please do like, share and subscribe as well. If you enjoyed this video, it really, really helps my videos get seen by more people, helps us grow the family that we've got here on YouTube. And if you're interested in what I do here and you want to get more involved, check out my description box. I have lots of links in there to help you do that. I'm not offering private readings at the moment when I'm posting this, but I will be again soon. I just have a lot going on with my other commitments outside of tarot, and it's a struggle to just get this YouTube stuff filmed, so I'm not able to offer private readings at the moment, but I will be again soon. So if you're interested, keep checking back on my Etsy page. If you're interested in daily cards, check out my Instagram. Consider following me on there, or follow me on Bilibili as well if you want to show me some support. If you're interested in giveaways and exclusive content, check out my Patreon page and consider becoming a patron. And if you're interested in donating to the channel, thank you so much. It really, really helps me keep making these videos. I have my PayPal link for tips and donations, and I also have a tarot and oracle wishlist over on Amazon, and an indie deck wishlist as well for those decks that for whatever reason you just can't buy them on Amazon. So thank you so much to everyone who's considered that, everyone who's checked out those lists, and I hope you guys have a wonderful month ahead, a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye, take care. Hi there, group 3, welcome to your reading. If you chose this kind of portal keeper, doorkeeper card, which, just to recap, I kind of interpreted as new opportunities, as kind of like mysterious, new offer maybe being given to you, new beginnings, etc. The Star Spinner Tarot, and this is going to be your reading. Group 1 and 2 have kind of been similar, like not the same, and I wouldn't have recommended either person, like, you know, watch the other group if they hadn't been drawn to them, but there was like similar themes going on there, so I want to see if it's the same for you guys or if it's very different. Group 3 is often very different from the other two groups, or is the most complicated reading. Let's take a look. I have dropped the camera down a bit as well so that we can see more of the mat, and I also encourage you guys to subscribe if you haven't already. It's completely free and easy, and it helps me to get seen more on YouTube, helps us to grow our family. So what's coming up in June? Okay, so we've got the Lovers as your first card there, so there is something here to do with relationships. Obviously this isn't the love reading for June, I will be doing that as the next video probably that I release, but we will see what comes through. 4 of Cups, 8 of Cups, very similar imagery there, like they're both sitting on some water, one's a mermaid, one's a girl, maybe they're both mermaids but one of them is kind of turned into a human, and they're both looking at what looks like the same castle. Interesting. Love that imagery. Then you've got the 10 of Cups, so lots and lots of Cups energy. And then the King of Wands. Okay, so I'm seeing Gemini, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius coming through here. Potentially also water signs, but that's just what's coming through. I really strongly get the feeling that you guys have a crush or someone that you're in a relationship with, maybe even just a really, really close friend. And in June, there's some level of separation. So maybe you've been living near them and you're moving away. Maybe you're just not seeing them as often as you want to in June. You know, there's this feeling of you both wanting to be with each other, but things get in the way. Maybe there is a physical distance, you know, that you're living different parts of the country or whatever, even in separate countries, and you just miss each other and you want to be around each other. But there's a lot of support from these cards as well, spending valuable time with the ones we love. So I feel like you're not spending probably the entire month in separation. Maybe there just is a point where you've got to say, okay, I need some time to work on this, etc. And, you know, it's for the best, but you don't want to, or, you know, vice versa. And there is a lot of looking to the future with the King of Wands as well. So this is a super interesting reading, and it definitely feels very different to the previous two already. Take a look, group 3. Watchtower of the South, summer. Okay, so obviously June is this kind of portal to summer. It's the opening of the door to summer, so you guys are looking forward to the summer in general. Maybe that's when you can spend time with this person. Maybe they work but they get time off in the summer. Maybe you guys study and so you have the summer to travel or to, you know, spend time together. Summer is important here, and summer I feel is connected to the King of Wands, who's looking forward, always looking into the future. The King of Wands, always a visionary, always looking ahead, and he's peering directly into this summer card. Interesting. So one of the other groups got this card, the Poisoned Apple, healing. Sorry, jealousy. Number 6. The next card is healing. The Princess Who Never Smiled, healing, number 31. So there is this sense of being down in the dumps a little bit, and I feel it is due to not being around the person you love, maybe not getting the, I'm not seeing that it's that you're not getting the level of support from the one you love because of this mirror image here with the two people separated, longing for something, the Lovers and the Ten of Cups. It feels like you're getting the support from them emotionally and that they want to be around for you as well. It's just either there is a physical distance or there are circumstances like conflicting work schedules, or one of you has maybe been studying and therefore has the summer off, and the other one has got a job or maybe is also studying but has like an internship or something, and it just means that you can't be around each other, And I do feel that you do spend some time with each other, most of you, in June, but there is still this energy of separation and you want things to be different. Maybe you see people walking along hand in hand and you're jealous of it, or maybe you you just want the perfect relationship is what I'm seeing. Amble with contentment, number 9. Waiting rather than acting is going to be the most advantageous now. So you're possibly making plans for the future that involve this person. And I do want to say, for some of you, it's not a romantic connection. It is like a very close friend, or it is a really dear family member. But I think for a lot of you, it's a crush, or it's someone that you're in a connection with romantically. You're making plans for the future. Maybe things have slowed down a bit towards the end of June. I'm feeling, you want to rev them up again. And for my lovely new Faery Forest deck, we have number 27, Salut, Vitality, Health, Energy. Maybe focusing on you and your health. Maybe you've just been drained by having lots of commitments and you need to take some time to yourself, but you don't want to be away from your partner, or you don't want to hurt someone's feelings by saying you can't be around them. I also feel it's about keeping a relationship, exciting and fresh and alive while you're at a distance, or while you're not maybe around to physically connect with each other all the time. And maybe it's about planning things for the future that are exciting so that you can both share that and look forward to that. It feels like a very specific reading, group 3. So if this is not ringing true to you at all, if you do not have a person that you are interested in this way, because I feel like it's people who are already in established connections, or have this great best friend or family member, or have maybe someone that they're really heavily crushing on, who they know in person, this likely isn't your reading. But, my group 3s are always so specific and so complicated. You have Hecate, magic, and Tara, protection. Okay, so possibly some of you are worried that this relationship might founder without the two of you being physically together, or, you're worried that maybe someone else will come along, maybe that's where the jealousy is creeping in. Or you're just worried that it maybe won't be the same when you see each other again because you spent a lot of time parted. Maybe some of you have had plans to meet up in June with this person and it's been pushed back due to circumstances. And these two cards together, I feel, are saying it's protected by magic. Okay, so it's going to be all right if you're worried about that kind of thing. Maybe you're even going to get this person involved in your spirituality in some way in June. We have be creative, look for ways to build, grow and manifest. Number 36, that is your message from your spirit guides and your passed over loved ones. So you don't have to relate this to the rest of the reading, which seems very focused around relationships. You are very protected in general in this month, I see, and your health is improving because maybe some of you have had poor health in May. But creativity, manifesting what you want, growing as a person, building on your goals, etc. But you could apply this to the situation and how I feel a lot of you are making plans for the future. And like I said, trying to keep things alive and exciting and fresh and new. It's saying be creative in the ways that you connect with this person while you're not physically together. We We've got unknown territory. You're exactly where you need to be. So maybe there's this fear there, you know, this feeling of, I don't know what I'm doing here. You know, I'm worried that I haven't made the right choice, or I'm worried about where I'm going next in life, etc. And it's saying you're exactly where you need to be, even if it feels like, oh, you know, this is where you need to be right now. There's a reason why this is happening, group 3. Stag Spirit, take the lead. Number 58, yes. Be the person that stays in contact, that, you know, sends the messages, but also I feel it's saying take the lead towards the completion of your own goals, because we're seeing a lot here about, you know, being creative, manifesting, magic, vitality in your own life, looking towards the future. Couple of cards from the Affirmators at Work deck, so maybe this, you guys are really throwing yourself into your work. 4 cards actually, we'll take them all. We have Modesty. I am willing to be wrong. I am willing to not know all the answers. I'm even willing to admit to my boss that I screwed up. Behind all this humility is the me that knows it's better to be modest than to be a die-hard, try-hard, know-it-all. Isn't that mature and gracious of me? You're welcome. Then you have a bonus card, Tenacity. If at first you don't succeed, try to remember that there's an old tired saying about this for a reason. Everyone fails sometimes, but failure is only failure if it happens on the very last page of your story. And since you're still breathing, that's not where you're at right now. So if you've hit an obstacle on your way to success, don't sweat it. Dust off your air quotes and hang them on that failure as a reminder that failures are a part of success, and this is all part of your lifelong job. Then get right back to it. Your next failure is waiting to bring you closer to your dreams. So again, you could, I feel, connect it to the relationship. If you're feeling like we've hit an obstacle, it's difficult now, remind yourself that this could actually bring you closer together and make you stronger. It could also be related to work and personal goals. We have Flexibility. When plans take a turn and I find my colleagues suddenly asking me to change what I'm doing, who I'm doing it with, or where, when, how it's being done, I accept the challenge and delight in proving how flexible I can be. I will wear whatever hat you throw at me, and I'm not even a hat person. Okay, so not being stubborn-minded, being open to new ideas, thinking outside the box. And finally from this deck we've got Delegation. I make like the mayor of multitasking and delegate duties left and right, then let them drift away from my awareness, certain that they'll get done. Rather than micromanage, I macromanage. For now, I'm only focused on the biggest elements of the journey. What's our galaxy up to? Why wasn't it at that last meeting? And that's what I feel is connecting it to the Unknown Territory card. Feels like you guys want to have a detailed plan so that you know what you're doing next at all times. You want to know what you're working towards. And I feel like this is saying just focus on the right now, or focus on the big massive things rather than the little details and the step-by-step approach, etc. Got 2 Ice Cream Oracle cards. I just felt the need to keep shuffling when that one popped out. So your first one is Apple Pie. Trust, integrity, and comfort. So comforting yourself if you feel a bit lost or unsettled, or if you're missing someone. Trusting in yourself, acting in integrity. And Blueberry, peace, meditation, acceptance. I think that word acceptance is very important if you're in a tough situation, or if you just feel like this isn't how you would have wanted it to be right now. It's difficult. It feels finite though. So whatever it is, I don't think that you've permanently moved away from someone. It feels like the separation has a time limit on it. And it's not, for nearly all of you, I feel like it's not separation in the sense that you've broken up with someone or are doing a trial separation. I think it's literally you're still together, but there is this circumstance, or there is issues that are stopping you from seeing each other too much. Meditation is important. If you guys are feeling unsettled, and obviously we've got the Magic card as well, and healing, it's important to stay grounded. Your King Solomon card is number 3. So I am going to need to look at the guidebook for that. It's a new deck and they don't put any words on the cards to kind of guide your interpretation. See what it says. Matters of health and illness. Okay, and we've got that health and vitality and energy card. So it says good health, recovery from illness, finding a successful medical treatment, improved physical energy, optimism, and also like maintaining that by looking after your health. Okay, that's great. So having a lot more energy in June. Maybe you have overcome a difficult time at work, or maybe you've been studying a lot and now it's June, it's summer, you can breathe a sigh of relief, you can catch up on sleep, etc. Give yourself some time just to not think about anything. Okay, your tea leaf fortune cards, which I always like to get a few of because they can paint a picture of what's going on, are leg, stepping into a new experience. And we've got this doorkeeper here who's kind of offering a new beginning or opening a new door for you. So this new experience. Cobweb, protected from negative forces beyond your control, and we've got the protection card, so it's all coming together now. And yeah, I do feel the circumstances are largely outside of your control. It's like you're not necessarily choosing to be apart, or you're not necessarily choosing to make this change. It just has to happen for both of you. Nest, an emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. Hand, in need of help, assistance and guidance. Bull, maybe Taurus energy, or people born in the year of the ox. Do not back down from opposition. So, do not back down from opposition. Show strength and fortitude. Tankard, celebration, fun, enjoyment. So that energy of kicking back and not being so stressed. Angel, spiritual guidance, protection from harm. Coming through again, and angels surrounding you, which I often get for group 3. It's often the most spiritual of all the readings. Throne, position of authority, you're in control. And crown, throne and crown, honor and respect will come to you. Lovely. So I'm just going to get you guys 2 more little cards, and then I'll do your charms and dice and see what they can tell us. A change in the wind, number 12. Yes, this sense of a new beginning, a change in the way you've been doing things. Wow. Get you your starseed affirmation card. Okay, it says courage. Live your life fearlessly with courage, strength, and determination. So yes, courage and bravery at a time when you might be feeling low, or when you might be feeling like you don't have the energy to, to show that. You might want to see this person so much. You might, hit this obstacle and think, oh no, I really want to overcome this, and it's disheartening, but show courage. And that's the visualization on the back of the card. It has like this tiger on it, because all of these cards have a different back. Strength of the tiger there, really, really beautiful. I want to move this up because something about that card has really caught my eye. So let's get your charms on top now, group 3. And I just want to say, if you're new, or to remind you if you're not, if you don't like the sound of the charms, this is your opportunity to turn the volume down now, especially if you've got high volume or you're wearing headphones. They can be loud. Some of you love it, some of you hate it. I always have to remember to say, I'm going to do the charms now. So that's your super quick warning. Group 3, see what's coming up in June. So let's see, something flew out of the thing and rolled away. Oh, it's this one, the good friend charm. So maybe spending time with friends, like that tankard card is maybe suggesting kind of like a 3 of Cups energy. confiding in a friend, possibly how you're feeling. We've got lots of indicators of love here. We've got the just married card, so maybe committing to someone. Doesn't have to mean getting married, but showing commitment to someone. Love heart there. Got the word love. Okay, and you've also got the perfume, which for me is a symbol of attraction, being attracted to someone or someone who is being attracted to you. We've also got the space charm, so taking space from someone or needing space from someone. So this makes a lot of sense with what we've got, doesn't it? We've also got things kind of slowly working out or taking a while to just kind of come to fruition there with the gingerbread man. Whenever I get that, I think of the fact that you have to wait for a cookie to cook before you can take it out of the oven and eat it. You can't just bite into it straight away. You've got to let it cook. You've got to let it cool after that. Just taking your time with something, listening to your inner voice and wisdom and intuition, because it's really guiding you at this time. Group 3 always seems to have the most connection to gods, angels, spirit guides, you know, mysterious cosmic figures like this. I don't know whether it's the same people who choose group 3 all the time, or whether it just means that if you turn to group 3, you're going through that specific kind of spiritual time, but that's just what seems to happen for my group 3s. We've got an older man here, or a more mature man. Could be someone that you're dealing with in love. It doesn't have to be like an older man as in like old. It can be someone who is a similar age to you, but just more experienced or more mature. Could also be like a spirit guide figure or someone that you're going to confide in. And you have the 6 of Wands charm, so victory, overcoming obstacles, overcoming failure and delay and setback and challenges that are thrown your way. So I'm interested to see what your dice are going to say now as we wrap up the reading. Okay, we're rolling the 4th set of dice, which is the Looney Tunes dice. Group 2, I think it was, got these dice as well. They look like this. Taz there, he's my favourite Looney Tunes character. And we're rolling 8 dice for you, so nearly all of them. There's only 9 in the pack. Let's see what we've got here. Yeah, so a couple of these dice came out for group 2 as well, so there are a few similar themes, but it's a very different reading. In general, we've just got like the anvil, you know, which often gets dropped on someone's head on Looney Tunes, and we've got the bomb as well, and the person who has fallen through like a canyon or something and made a hole in the shape of their body. So when I see this, I think of being flawed, you know, having like completely no idea of how you're going to change something, or maybe you weren't expecting something. And these 2 dice as well, I think of something unexpected or something very sudden, or something that possibly impacted you a lot more deeply than you expected. So maybe you say goodbye to someone because you're not going to see them for a few weeks. Maybe you live at a distance and suddenly it just hits you like so much and you're like, oh my God, I need that person back in my life, you know? Maybe you've been long distance for a long time, or you've been talking to someone for a long time and it just feels like suddenly you want to meet them, or suddenly you just feel really lonely. You know, it feels like it creeps up on you unexpectedly. And I've seen this in every reading. There's been a situation where, regardless of what it's about, people are affected a lot more than they expected, or people feel very vulnerable. So this seems to be a time where people are feeling very tender. Could be to do with astrology, what's going on in general, but people feel quite tender at the time, it seems. Right now, and as we move into June in general, it does feel like you haven't got that grounding that you need, that the floor has kind of fallen out from under you. So that's where the meditation message of the blueberry ice cream comes in. Creativity as well, as a means to kind of let out your feelings and to process things. We've got communication as necessary with this old-fashioned telephone, so maybe you are only able to talk on the phone or through messages and stuff, but it's important to keep up communication. And then we've got the catapult, like launching something, you know, starting something new. And this slightly open window. And when I see this, I always think of that phrase, when God closes a door, they open a window, or when one door closes, another one opens. And that's what I'm seeing here. And it really relates back to this card that came out as the pile marker, is that maybe you hit an obstacle or a delay or a setback, or you just struggle with something a lot more than you expected to, but it brings about this new opportunity. It makes you think about something in a different way. The winds are changing, things are kind of changing around you. It feels like a really crazy time for a lot of people where big decisions are going to be made, lots of changes coming in life. Maybe it's just the time of year in general where people start thinking about what they want to do a bit more, but it feels like there's a lot of change, a big shift coming for you in the summer in general. Like, you start making these big decisions, but June is when you start to feel this change. So I hope you enjoyed this, Group 3. It does seem to be a very interesting time for you, and I feel like you maybe weren't expecting to feel this way, or, you know, it hits you harder than expected, but you can get through this. Whatever it is, you can get through it, you can overcome it. You've got a lot of cards showing you that, and charms and dice as well. You're protected. Talk to Spirit, they're around you very much. Remember to stay grounded through meditation. Take your time in this month, because for some reason you're being held back. For some reason there's no need to rush about something. There's a need to wait a little bit longer before coming to a decision, or before a certain thing happens, like a certain event. So if a meeting's being pushed back, that'll be why. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this. Please like, share and subscribe if you did. It really helps my channel get seen by more people, helps us grow the family that we've got here on YouTube. And if you're interested in what I do here and you want to get more involved, check out my description box for lots of links. You can go ahead and follow me on Instagram for daily cards, or Billy if you'd like to show me your support over there. At the moment when I'm posting this video, I'm not taking private readings because I've got a lot going on outside of tarot. It's a struggle just to get these YouTube videos filmed every 5 days and uploaded, because I'm just so busy outside of tarot with a lot of commitments. But if you're interested in a private reading, I will be back soon. Just keep checking back on my Etsy page to see when it reopens. If you would like to get access to exclusive content and giveaways, check out my Patreon page and consider becoming a patron. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, thank you so much, you guys. I have a PayPal link for tips and donations, which help me keep making these videos. And I also have my Amazon wishlist and an indie deck wishlist as well, for decks that you can't buy on Amazon. So if you'd like to send a new deck to the channel, check those out. And just thank you so much to all of you who've done that, all of you who care about me and what I do on this channel. You guys really support each other in the comments as well, which I think is lovely. Have a lovely month ahead and a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye bye. Take care.